don't know without tabulating the plays. I know a couple guys that were kind of on the ready list were Jimmy Swain and Arion Springs that did play. And then Tyrell, Royce, Charles, Zach Schuler, who's obviously not a true freshman, but a guy with an available red shirt we anticipated playing. Did I say Tyrell Crosby? Okay, Tyrell Crosby. And then defensively, Austin, Henry Mondu, Arion, all were anticipated.
Next question, right here.
Hey, so how is today different than last year's home opener? Like, how do you feel like you've grown over last year?
I don't know. Again, hopefully we're smarter, but then we drop the ball going into the end zone and block a guy in the back as he's tackling the punt returner. So, I think our guys were anxious there at the beginning. A couple of silly mistakes. They're excited to play their first game. Could have played a little bit smarter there to start things off. But yeah, we need to get better in a hurry.
Well, what about you individually as a coach?
Oh, I'm much better.
You're much better?
No, I have no idea.
Steve.
Mark, you talk about those running backs, Royce, Thomas, and Byron. Seem like whoever you put in there in kind of different spots, they're able to kind of find some yards and make some things happen each time they got the ball.
Yeah, those guys, we think they're really good players, Byron had a little bit different role tonight in terms of a little bit more of a hybrid guy, a downfield receiver threat, and that was just kind of by virtue of how they defended those formations. I think Royce has that capability. He just hasn't been here long enough to kind of add that next layer of development to his repertoire. Thomas has that availability as well, and they're all good, just thumper running backs. And Royce has maybe a little bit more shift in him than the other guys. We'll just continue to develop all those guys, and we'll need all of them.
Warren.
Mark, a lot of people say the biggest jump in improvement is from game 1 to game 2. What were some of the things that you were really pleased with tonight, and then some of the things that you think you need to work on?
Defensively, I thought we started okay. I just didn't like our urgency. I thought we needed to create some of our own energy when they're sapping the play clock down to 1 second and snapping the ball. When the ball snaps, we need to strap it on and play, and that didn't always occur. Defensively, we're shooting for perfection in every way. I thought we could have hit the guy in the seam on the ball that was kind of tipped and almost intercepted. A few little nuanced things in the passing game, spacing wise, and then we need to be smarter in special teams.
Will.
With Byron playing a lot of time in 2-back sets in the slot, is that he seemed to be the only guy really rotating around there? Is that by design, or do you really feel like eventually Thomas and Royce can play all those positions?
I think the latter. I think eventually those other guys will just continue to develop. We've done that with them in fall camp, and it was kind of just by virtue of who we had the most confidence in, combined with how they defend formations.
Mark, what did you say to Byron after the ball flip, if that's printable?
We had a good discussion. We give the ball to the official. That's all we do, which he did very well on the next touchdown.
AJ.
Jeff Lockie looked poised and confident out there today. How's he improved in your mind from last year to this year? We just saw today.
I think he's playing. He's playing and reacting and playing with more urgency, being a smart guy, and just instead of a lot of times smart guys, and we have a few smart guys, but Jeff's on the upper echelon of 4.0 in finance type intelligence, and there's a little bit of over-analysis that goes on, trying to make it perfect and this, that, and perfect. It has to be perfect instead of just playing with urgent feet, balanced feet, and ripping it. And he did a better job of that. I think Farrell Brown is still wide open in the back of the end zone on one. We had a little double move play that he could have made a lot easier, but pleased with his development for sure.
Hey, Mark. Marcus seemed to have a pretty good chemistry with the running backs through the passing game. He more than half of his completion went to running backs. But with the receivers, Dwayne had that first catch, and then after that, he kind of was, I don't know if he was targeted after that, but were you able to see kind of separation from the receivers after kind of what you saw in camp?
We'll take a look at the film. I don't know yet. I thought those guys all did really good things in the run game as well. Chance Allen had a key block on the long what should have been a touchdown by Byron Marshall was a huge block. Zach Schuler had a couple nice blocks in the run game. And so we'll take a look at that and, kind of parcel that out once we see the film.
Mark, you made a reference to your defense. Did you basically play a lot of basic defense tonight, not throw a lot at the team? And then the second part of that question is, how do you feel like your team is equipped to play a Michigan State, which has a really good quarterback, good running game, and top flight receivers?
On the first part, yes. Excuse me, we were, I would say, trying to play fast and sound defensively and not overthink things too much. They, presented some stuff in terms of some unbalanced formations, some two-back and two tight end formations that we would probably defend a little bit differently in an ideal situation going forward, and we'll do that. Michigan State is again an excellent football team that is excellent in every phase.
Coach, you talked about the anxiousness of some of the younger players, but it seemed like a lot of the veteran guys, Marcus, kind of setting the tone, the offensive line coming out there and everything seemed kind of calm from their point of view, I guess. Could you talk about how that set the tone for today and how that's going to be important going forward next week?
Yeah, I think that, anytime you get off to a fast start, and it was 21-3 or 21-3, then 21-6. You're a little bit more at ease, but we want to keep pushing the tempo and keep putting those guys in bad situations. And I thought defensively we let them off the hook with a couple either missed tackles on third down or a couple little hiccups that could have been ugly earlier. We'll try to fix that as best as we can. And what's the second part of that?
Just
Marcus,
setting the tone for next week.
Yeah, I thought our team handled that the whole day pretty well. They've been waiting the entire offseason to get back out there, and the anxiety of sitting around all day, multiple days watching all these other games, and then finally getting to play. I thought we handled that okay. Some guys again made some mistakes, and that's where you need your leaders to lead, and like you said, play well.
Couple more questions on.
Did you get an explanation on the unsportsmanlike after the first touchdown?
No. Oh, I mean, I had a couple different. I don't want to get into that. Get in trouble.
One more.
Sure, I'll ask about the receivers, Mark. Obviously, Byron in a little bit different role, pretty sound catching the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think all your other guys, Chance, Darren, Farrell, Dwayne, a lot of other guys caught the balls. Overall, that receiving core, how did they do?
Okay, here's the problem, because Dwayne Stanford did catch the ball, right? You got a stat error. He was the guy that caught the touchdown, right? Come on, man.
I'm on
Or what I have. I thought those guys again played well, and I really like our receivers. They need to develop quickly and mature quickly, and we'll force feed them as much as possible. Is that the edited version?
I think it's right.
Okay. I was going to try to look at how many guys caught balls. This is the quickie stats, the regular stats. That's a lot of dudes catching balls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 guys between the tight ends and the backs, and throwing in they've got the hooper and the track star, and we're trying to recruit Liz Brenner to catch one more.
You envision that sort of balance, though, as opposed to a Huff and Braylon, catching a lot of balls.
It just depends, It obviously in a game like this, you're going to try to play everybody and get them involved, and it just depends on how the game, both from your standpoint, how you game plan, and how they kind of dictate, or teams are able to dictate to a certain extent where the ball's going. We'll, if we score with the tailback, we'll take that. If it's a tight end or a wideout, they count the same.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.